Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life.
Pause up, pet pals. Welcome to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Now, thanks to some very special, very well-trained dogs, many people who are blind or visually impaired are living lives to the fullest. And part of that reason is to a great organization. It is called Leader Dogs for the Blind. On this show today, our first guests are here to share that story. And later in the show, we're going to talk to some kids from a 4-H group in Lincoln, Nebraska, who are wise beyond their years when it comes to knowing all things about cat behavior and cat care. First up, our first two guests know very well how guide dogs can help people who are blind or visually impaired lead full, active lives. So I want you at this time to join me in giving pause and applause to professional dog trainer Shanna Stichler with her guide dog Spencer and the digital marketing manager from Leader Dogs for the Blind, Christina Hepner. Hey, ladies, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much for having us.
All right, we really want to dive in because, ironically, I just came back 10 minutes ago from my eye doctor visit. So eye health is very important. And I think it's very important to have people know about organizations like a Leader, about the Leader Dogs for the Blind. So Christina, step right in, because you not only have the fancy title, which I love, digital marketing manager, but your organization, you also have a media background, and you are host of the organization's podcast called Taking the Lead. So would you please take the lead on this question? Tell us a little bit about Leader Dogs for the Blind.
Yes, of course. So like Arden said, I'm Christina, and at Leader Dogs for the Blind, we're based out of Rochester Hills, Michigan, but we serve people all over the US and Canada completely free of charge. So we're a nonprofit organization and we don't get any government funding. So that means we rely on donors. And we were founded by 3 Detroit area Lions members. So Lions clubs are huge supporters of our mission. So
you mean
we provide
football Lions as an NFL?
No, so Lions Club International, the organization.
Sorry, I'm an ex-sports writer. I got all giddy. I'm like,
right.
Really? I guess. All right, but the Lions Club, yes.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
The Lions Club. So they are huge supporters all over the country of our mission, spreading our mission. And we provide everything free of charge, including room, board, and airfare. And we provide services for our clients. That's O&M, which is orientation and mobility. Most people know it as white cane training. And guide dog training.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And guide dog training as well. And then we also provide a lot of free resources, and we host kids for our summer camp every year. So we have a lot of other services as well. And it's all free of charge to our clients. So our donors mean the world to us. And what we want to be able to provide our services to anyone who needs it, anyone who's legally blind. And so without getting government funding, we really can do that. We don't have any stipulations on who we can serve.
And we're going to say it more than once. Go ahead and shout out the website.
Yeah, so it's leaderdog.org. So I know it's Leader Dogs for the Blind, but the website is leaderdog.org. And we have all of our information on there, whether you want to donate, be a volunteer. Volunteers really run our organization as well. They raise our puppies. They host our breeding stock dogs. They do a lot for us too. So everything is on there.
I appreciate that, Christine. And our other special guest knows directly the benefit of Leader Dogs for the Blind. Shanna, you are Shanna Stichler, and you have quite a background with dogs. And you also are part of Tevra Brands. We're going to talk about that too, but tell us your story, Shanna.
All right, so I am, as Arden said, Shanna Stichler, and I am with my 6th guide dog, Spencer, who is a 2-year-old black Labrador retriever.
Hi, Spencer.
He is a giant dog.
Spencer, my name is Treat Lady Spencer. All the dogs know me as Treat Lady.
He says, "Oh, that's great because I love treats. They're my favorite."
So tell us your story, Shanna. How you got to be with Leader Dogs for the Blind?
Okay, so I've been a guide dog handler since 2001. So it's been 21 years ago.
I know, where'd the time go? Yeah.
And Spencer is my sixth dog. I've known about Leader Dogs for a long time, but I first really, and I had clients who actually came from Leader Dogs to the organization I used to work for. And then about a couple of years back, I actually came to Leader Dogs and toured the campus because I was picking up a career change from them for someone who needed an in-home service dog, actually, which sometimes happens. This person had Parkinson's disease, and they needed a dog that could pick up things and
exactly.
Just, her main thing was retrieving. But she also was just a super great emotional support companion. And I was just really impressed with like how the way they place these dogs. I am, as Arna mentioned earlier, a service dog trainer. I started off training just guide dogs, and then I moved on to training also mobility dogs. So for people who have balance impairments or neurological disorders who need help with balance or that kind of thing. And then also psychiatric service dogs
for PTSD and things like that.
I also have trained my own guide dog, which is a whole nother thing. But
and what is your situation with your vision? Because I know you mentioned before we got on the air.
So I was born totally blind, and I have a rare eye disorder. Basically, there are lots of big words, but the basics are that my eyes didn't develop correctly, like while I was before I was born. While my mom was pregnant with me, they just didn't develop right. So I have never ever had vision. I was a cane user before I got my dog. And before I got my first dog, and then, in between dogs. And so.
Well, that's fine. I mean, we've got about a minute left before the break. I think just like some dogs, some cats, and other species, you tap your other senses, right, Shanna?
I wouldn't say that they're like extra powerful or anything. That's kind of a wives' tale. People tell. I mean, Daredevil is not real, but I do I think they're more acute. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, we're gonna dive in a little deeper after we take this break, but all of you know the drill. We're gonna sit, stay. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Four-Legged Life Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. We're talking with folks from the Leader Dogs for the Blind. We have from the organization, we have Christina Hepner. And from one of the people that are benefiting by their services, who also has a lot of talents, and that is Shanna Stichler. And back to you, Christina. You're starting a podcast. Do you know anything about media? I'm just
yeah, so my background is in media. I used to be a TV news reporter and anchor, and we started this podcast last January, and it's called Taking the Lead.
I love that.
You can find it kind of wherever podcasts stream. And we tell a lot of our clients' stories on there. And we talk about advocacy. We talk about so many different topics, but then we also talk about Leader Dogs. So we give a little behind the scenes to people who are maybe on the fence on applying to services, or, our volunteers also have really enjoyed the podcast. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on that so far on things they didn't know that happened.
Give us a couple of what I call Hey Mayables. Hey Mabel, did you know that? What would be a couple of those?
We just kind of did a podcast on Thanksgiving. We just recorded it this week, and we kind of talked about how do you navigate a big holiday like that, taking your guide dog. And one of our co-hosts is a client of ours as well, and he talked about, really
Because there's
thinking
too many
about.
smells that are good, and my dog's nose
Yes,
is going,
right.
oh, yum.
Right. And so something I didn't even think about is sometimes they have to think about maybe not taking their dog and using their white cane if it's
Oh,
going to be too many people around the dog, or if there's
okay.
going to be other dogs in that environment that they're not comfortable with. So
Good
he kind of
point.
talked about that process of how do you determine, whether you take your dog or not. So something people don't
point.
think about all the time, but I know that is kind of some of the topics we talk about as well.
And we have Shanna here. Shanna, what's a kind of a situation that you know firsthand with Spencer or your previous dogs that you can share with folks that may be wanting and needing a dog, a service dog?
I mean, my dogs pretty much go everywhere with me.
Okay.
The only exceptions are places where it's just going to be way too crowded and they might get stepped on or injured, or
Okay.
where they might become in some way really distressed. But I mean, I take my dog, he's at work with me right now. I use him to get around my office. I use him to get to and from work. Spencer is very good at one of the things that they teach at Leader Dogs is they teach their dogs to find empty chairs. And
Oh,
Spencer
really?
is very good at this. So like when I go to coffee shops, which is like one of my favorite things ever. Spence, I can just
nice.
tell him to find a chair and he will just lead me through like a totally crowded building and find me one.
Wow.
He
Does he make you a latte too?
he does not. I am working on that, but so far, man. So if anyone has advice about on I'm always down for training tips on that.
And what got you into becoming a dog trainer? Because that and you're blind, and I think that's pretty amazing. So, and I bet the dogs. Well, I know this. I'm a pet behavior consultant. The dogs do feed off our energies. So, how do you help train dogs when you don't have sight? Because I think that's a skill.
Well, so I spent a lot of time learning about dog body language and
Yeah,
how to read them, and you can definitely read them even if you can't see them. You can feel
good.
them and like touch them and just kind of know by the energy that they're putting off how they're feeling about things, just where they're positioned in relation to you, how if
Yeah,
they're concerned, if they're confident,
you're listening
if
to
they're
verbal
liking what they're
cues
doing, if
too.
they're not.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
but
what
I
are a
really
couple?
became fascinated. I've just always been super fascinated with the human animal bond in general. I used to show horses, and I
Wow.
actually raised a guide dog puppy back in the day. And so I've always, and I want to help people experience what I am fortunate enough to get to experience every day with my service dogs, because it's a beautiful thing, the bond that I have with these dogs.
I think so. I think when you have a connection with a dog, um, that's better than that recent Powerball $1 billion, right?
It is. It totally is.
And let's go back to Christina. Christina, um, there's different ways people can help. We're in the time of giving right now, and I hope it goes all the way through 23 too. But some people can be like with Shanna. Shanna is benefiting, but Shanna's also giving back. What are some ways that people can help leader dogs for the blind?
Yeah, so there's multiple ways. I do want to touch on, Tevra has been such a great partner to us for
And
the
we
last.
got to do a shout out first. Tevra, you're like, what is Tevra? It is not a car, right,
It is
Shanna?
not.
What is Tevra? Because you're part of the Tevra
Yeah.
brand team and you sponsor this show, which I appreciate.
Well, Tevra Brands is a company. We're mostly known by by Tevra. We're usually go by Tevra Pet in the social media world, but we make flea and tick products. We make vet quality flea and tick products. We make dental products for dogs and cats. We have tons of treats and supplements and all kinds of things. So our goal is to make, vet quality products available to everyone at an affordable price, because sometimes when you go to your vet and they sell you stuff, it's not like they're trying to, but
Yeah, there's a
it's
markup.
expensive.
Well, it sounds
Um,
like with Tevra, and this where I'll get back to Christina, Tevra has a connection with Leader Dogs for the Blind that's living a life without boundaries.
Yeah, so they're our official flea and tick provider for our dog. So that
Very
means
nice.
so much to us to be able to provide that to our dog. Tevra provides that for our dogs. We have a lot of dogs that come through, whether they're in training, before they're issued. That is such an important thing. And they are always providing things for our gift bags, our giveaways, giving coupons and discounts to our constituents. So we are so thankful to have Tevra as such an amazing partner. So we do have partners like them that help our mission, but we also have volunteers. We also have a big event coming up on December 10th. It's called Light Up Leader Dog. So anyone can actually help us with our mission for that. It's a $10 donation, and you put a luminary on our campus. So our goal is to have 2,000 luminaries lighting up our campus. And so do
you have anything in January or February? Because this will be airing later in December. I would love to be able to give a shout out to get people to participate.
Yeah, so in January, we actually have a local 5K called Frozen Paw 5K. So that's a local event.
And you're in Michigan? That's
in Michigan. Yes, it is cold. I am running it myself. So
okay, good luck.
I am going to be layering up. It's going to be cold. And then in March, we have our Dinner in the Dark. So that's our biggest fundraiser of the year. And people kind of come and they get to dine in the dark. And we actually get support from all over for that event. So fingers crossed we can have it in person for the first time in a while this year.
And give us that website again, because I want people to dash after the show to your site.
Yes, leaderdog.org. And you can kind of find the volunteer information, the donate tab, all about our events right there.
And we just have a few seconds left. Shanna, tell us how people can find out more about the Tevra Pet brand.
So if you go to tevrapet.com, that's where you can find all our products. And you can also look for Tevra Pet on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube.
And it is a Tevra, correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, I salute you both. I salute everybody at the Leader Dogs for the Blind. You're making everybody's lives full and happy and a little bit yappy with some dogs. And there can't be a better life than that, right, ladies?
Not at all.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk to kids, because kids are cool. Kids are smart. And we're going to talk to a bunch of 4-H'ers helping cats in Lincoln, Nebraska. So stay. We'll be right back. Pause up, pet pals. Thanks for watching. If you liked my video, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel. I want to keep providing you with great guests, special first aid tips, and yes, more videos of these guys. See you next time. Pause up!